became what it is.
Yeah, before we leave, I really want to see this building. I
Yeah,
haven't
we
spotted
can
it.
talk to.
If it was a movie theater, I'm sure it must have been this tiny little gem of a movie theater.
And the guy who is the manager, one of the managers here, looks and because he's obviously Australian, looks just like Steve Austin, the guy.
The crocodile hunter.
No, he's not really. He's like He's a wild. He hunts snakes and he runs all over Africa.
Yeah, he's
Steve Austin Adventures. It's called
right.
And he's an Australian, very similar to the crocodile hunter.
I think we might be getting his name wrong.
I think it is Steve Austin. I think it is
because who was the crocodile hunter?
He has passed away.
Right. But who was he? Was it Steve?
It wasn't Steve Austin. It was Steve something else.
Yeah. Well, this is going to torture me anyway.
But
Austin Stevens is who you're thinking of.
Austin Stevens. Right.
Yeah, I know that's
the other
I didn't
guy.
think he looked like the crocodile hunter.
Right.
When I caught a glimpse of him,
Stevens.
he looked like that Austin Stevens.
Yes.
So you were just.
You
mixed up.
Well, anyway, he was very nice, and he told me about the history. This Flagler tried to build a railway down to Key West, and it got totally blown away in this huge hurricane in 1935. So it was.
There's a whole documentary about it that PBS ran several years ago. If you want to look it up.
Well, anyway, so he gave us. We took this little cottage called the Pelican, which is right down on the water.
Which is where, by the way, we're podcasting from right
yes.
now. In an undisclosed Pelican cottage.
And he recommended us to go to this place called Mrs. Mack's Kitchen.
Holy crap.
Oh my God, it's a little tiny place. Actually, they have two locations now. One's a little ways down in Key Largo on the median. It's a little bit larger, but I really like the old place.
This is the old one. This is the original
from
building.
1976.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago to us, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's just really cool. And the food, I had crab cakes.
I had a BLT in a pita.
Yeah.
And it was like...
And then we shared a key lime freeze because, oh my God, because we got that for free.
Yeah, that's right, we got a free, and that's like this big milkshakey kind of...
Yeah, it was a key lime milkshake was what it was. And then you had your first piece of real key lime pie.
And I'm telling you,
and
anything I've ever eaten...
If you live up in the Chicago area where we live, and somebody says you're getting key lime pie in a restaurant, don't even bother to take it.
Yeah, I think
it's not key lime pie.
I think I've just had like lime jello
or
crust.
Lemon pie with green food coloring in it, and they say it's key lime pie. It's not.
No, this key lime pie.
So if you are in Key Largo, eat at Mrs. Mack's Kitchen.
Yeah, and it's decorated with license plates.
Oh, yeah, different from...
And they even make the lampshades out of license plates. And
very small.
We ended up... So what was the state we signed? We didn't sign the Illinois.
It was too high to reach. Tennessee or something. I don't know.
We signed some state.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
Very small, but just really, really good.
Yeah.
And then we came back to our room and...
we sat out on the deck and watched
under our little tiki hut.
Yeah.
And watched this storm come in.
Yeah. And then, actually, we had taken a nap and then we went out there.
And then Austin Stevens told us we could walk right across, just right down the beach, literally next door to this place called the Bayside Bar and Grill. So we walked over there to see the sunset, but there wasn't any sunset.
Because it was starting to rain.
We
actually kind of trotted over there and there was sprinkly rain.
And so we sat there under in a big open porch.
A bar.
Live music in a bar.
It's a sunset bar. And it's just the patio. It's like the overhang of the building protects the bar. And it's just connected to the beach. And the only thing not getting you wet is the fact that there's that overhang there. But it's right open.
It's open. And then we watched this big storm come in.
And this girl and this guy were playing music. She was playing acoustic guitar and singing, and he was playing drums. It was like a bongo or conga drum. And she was very good. And we just had our first taste of, we had some at Mrs. Mack's too, but Key West Sunset Ale. It was very delicious. And
So we were there for an hour and a half or so, just sitting watching the
watching
lightning.
the lightning out on the ocean.
Yeah.
Incredible. And yeah, the when we were sitting out in the little tiki gazebo or whatever you would call it, before we went, we saw the clouds building up, and the sun wasn't a real sunset, but you could kind of see the sun trying to beat against the clouds, and it got kind of glary. Kept our sunglasses on, and then we went inside to get ready to go to the bar, and all of a sudden all hell broke loose. It was just really pouring, and we thought, how the heck are we going to get over to this bar to have some booze and sit and watch? But we're going to get soaked going over there. Well, there was kind of
it let up a little bit.
I was even thinking about going to the car to get our umbrellas, and then it let up a little bit, so it was just kind of sprinkly when we went over. And then we got under there and it started raining harder again. We had a really nice table. There was a palm tree, and there was actually coconuts growing out of it. It's like, I've been waiting to see a palm tree with something growing out of it. Didn't see any little monkeys or anything climbing up. I almost climbed up and saw it. But, we were tempted to get some food just to nibble on while we're drinking beer, but we were still so full from Mrs. Max.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just to go back to that.
So we're learning a lot about Key West. We're learning about the fact that since it's just one road with really no exits on it to go anywhere, you just follow the bridge, that ends up in Key West. Everything goes by mile markers. You start at mile marker 110, you end up at 0.
And before they had these bridges that connect which came about after the failed railroad. That was the first time they
I think it was 1946 or something.
Previously that people could just go by boat or plane, but that was the only way. You could not drive here, or you'd have a very white car.
Yeah, I'll have to check the date on when the bridge was actually completed. But I read in my little guidebooks, it's a series of 42 different bridges, or 42 hops, on different bridges. And the longest one is the 7-mile bridge, which will hit Marathon Key, which we're planning on staying on Marathon Key tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we're just going real short distances now, because we wanted to get some different keys other than Key West. And
but so far our experience here has been, of course, Key Largo is very famous for being the title of that movie with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, the first movie they ever did. No, it wasn't. No. To Have and Have Not was the first movie they did together. Key Largo was later on, but it's a very suspenseful movie. I believe Sidney Greenstreet is in it, Thomas Gomez, and some other people. You've never seen it, right, Mark?
No, never seen Key Largo.
We will.
We passed by this bar that's supposed to be there. They shot some scenes there. Very, very little of the movie was really shot.
Right, they just shot it in the studios.
Yeah, but there were some shots.
Some established shots, yeah. I mean, there actually is footage of the real Key Largo in the movie, which is kind of neat. And Bogey and Bacall, well, maybe they were here, I don't know. But it's possible they never even came here. They may have come on another occasion, but if they showed up here after that movie came out, they would have gotten mobbed. But and really, there's not many places to hide on this key. I mean, it's this long, skinny island, and you could literally run from one side to the from the Gulf of Mexico into the ocean because it is so skinny. All the keys are. They're just kind of stretched out little islands in this arc that kind of swings away from the underside of Florida. And it's a really interesting little community down here. And we just, this is just a place for us to stop before we get to Key West. But I really am glad we stopped here. I mean, it
I think people on these, because Austin Stevens in the office, I mentioned we're going to end up in Key West, and he goes, the dreaded Key West. Only he said it with an Australian accent. So it's definitely the jumping into the
right. So
it's more
people
laid.
usually,
It's more laid back around here.
yeah, around here. This is a big diving community.
Yeah, this is the diving center, and then
Every place you go, it has something to do with scuba diving.
there's just all these diving
It
places.
really
all
makes
over the
me want
place.
to take scuba lessons. Maybe next time we get here, we can maybe if you feel like taking scuba lessons too.
We'll see about that.
Well, you can sit with a nice
I am
tropical
not-
drink while I go scuba diving.
I am not a swimmer.
Yeah, just get water wings. When you get your wetsuit and your tank on, just say, "Oh no, I gotta put these little wings on my arms," and then they say, "Well, isn't that nice?" But anyway, I've always wanted to scuba dive, so that's why I bring it up. Like I said, you can sit on the beach with a nice
Yeah, that's
tropical
what I'll
drink
be doing.
while I go blub 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 and get my ass bitten by a shark. But I want to bring up something. Just as long as we have a few minutes left. When we were sitting out on that little tiki gazebo,
Yeah.
as I've called it,
Okay.
and off in the distance you could see some sailboats anchored. We saw the oddest thing. And this is like one of those mysterious things. And it was probably just a cormorant diving for fish, but it looked bigger and more active. There was like this dark shape out in the water off to the left of these yachts that were pretty far distant from us. So I didn't have my binoculars. But even then, it would have been hard to see what this was. It was like this dark shape going into the water, and then it would come up
come back
farther away, and then go down again immediately. That's why I didn't think it was a cormorant.
No,
I know what cormorants look like when they dive, and they go down, they stay down. This thing was like going up and down, and then it was just after a while that it was just gone. And I thought, what are we seeing? Are we seeing some kind of marlin leaping out of the water to eat little fish or something? Like, what are we seeing out there? And when I first saw it, I thought it might have been humans from one of the sailboats out, like swimming in the water. But then I realized, well, nobody could do this. You know what it could have been? Dolphins.
Yeah,
Could have been a dolphin diving. Now that is something a dolphin could have done. They will dive in and come up again. And but it was mysterious. Just because it was like we're just sitting there, we're watching the storm roll in. There's other people from the resort walking around and sitting and looking, and it's really kind of quiet out on the water, right? Way in the distance, we saw a motorboat go by.
It's real
There was
quiet.
not. They knew the storm was coming.
Yeah,
So
and this isn't the peak season for this area.
no. We're at a real quiet time.
Yeah.
And so then you look out and you go, "No, what's that? This little dark thing going bloop, bloop." And if you are fascinated by cryptozoology as I am, we may have seen some kind of mysterious creature, or crocodile man, or something like that. We'll never know what it was. We'll never know what it was, unless we read it in the news later on. Labrador retriever jumping off a sailboat. That did not look like a Labrador retriever. I think right now I'm going to go with the dolphin theory.